Hello everyone. In the previous episode, I concluded it saying that there is an element of flow. There is a concept of flow. Can you imagine a life without challenges? Can you imagine a life without resistance? In my managing time seminars, many executives come and explain how difficult their life is, how they are disturbed very often, either by meeting or by cell phones or by messages or by drop-in visitors. I used to ask them how much will be a fun if there are no challenges at all in your life. Just imagine a day when you are not at all disturbed. You are not called for any meeting. Your telephone never rings, right? Nobody takes note of you, right? You sit in the bus, and your neighbor doesn't even recognize you, even though he is a very close friend. There is a marriage in your family, and you are not invited. Even when you go, people don't take notice at all. All of a sudden, you feel as though you have become invisible. Would you like such a life? You will not, because we want challenges. That means challenges is a part of the excitement that we have to undergo in life. The question is, do you love challenges? Now, I used to say in my seminars, the only place where there will be perfect peace, perfect silence, no disturbance at all, is in a cemetery. And many of us, most of us, or none of us will be willing to go there so early. So life is full of challenges. The only difference you need to understand is, do you love your job? Now, you need to ask yourself, which is natural? Is discipline natural or indiscipline natural? Think for a minute, right? When we were born as babies, we were not disciplined. We did anything, everything, right? There was no code of conduct. You can cry now, you cannot cry now, you can play now, you cannot play now. Absolutely nothing. And that's how we were born. We were born. As we grow in life, the society taught us this is indiscipline, this is discipline. We suffered that process of transition. Similarly, you take two other physics principles. One is called resistance, the other is called the driving force. Resistance force and the driving force, which is natural. Driving force is not natural. Resistance force is natural. Any object which moves has to work against the gravitational force. So the driving force has to be natural, has to be much more than the resistance force. In the sound technology, they used to say there is always noise. When I talk to you, the noise level is there. There is noise level. Maybe if you listen minutely, you will notice a certain noise. Maybe a fan, maybe the paper, maybe somebody is talking outside. If I want my voice to be heard properly, I need to increase the decibel of my voice. So the voice you are able to hear in competition with the external noise. So is the case. The flow. Let me explain through a simple principle that as you grow in life, things will become difficult. Do not expect things will become easier. Things have become difficult. Things will become even more difficult. Crossing a road is much more difficult today than it was 30 years ago. Making your preparation for an examination is much more difficult today than it was in the past. Preparing a launch of a product and successfully selling a product is much more difficult today than it was 20 years ago. Things will become difficult. Things are becoming difficult. Things have become difficult. Then how are we surviving? We are improving our coping mechanism. Otherwise, life will be a bore. Look at this diagram. Now, if you want, you can even draw, you can pause this video for some time, draw this diagram so that you will understand what I'm trying to say. Now, let us say I'm learning tennis. I'm a schoolboy, I learned tennis. So I go to the court, and the other side of the court, the other side of the net, there is a coach and the coach is not a very big tennis player. He knows how to send the ball, ask me to hit. So he sent the ball, I hit it. In the beginning, I hit the net and then pick up the ball. Again, I hit, and then I serve. Then he returns, I serve, he returns. Then the volleying starts slowly. Then once I become expert and returning the ball, volleying. Now slowly I acquire the skill. Now from A1 I start, I go all the way to A2. In A2 I have picked up the skill of returning the ball, volleying. At A2 what happens, I feel bored because I have done it so many times. So what happens, I look around in the tennis court and I find another person who has been playing tennis for 2-3 years, and one day I invite him, shall we play? So when I start playing with him, you know where I am? I am at A3. That means it is a challenge. From boredom, I go to challenge, and it is I go through a certain amount of anxiety. So he beats me in a game of tennis. But then I enjoy the process. What happens? I start noticing all my shots, where I should improve, and slowly I start moving to A4, from A3 to A4, and this is the flow. The travel from A1 to A2 is the flow. The travel from A2 to A1, A2, A3 to A4 is the flow. I undergo a lot of tension. Now what happens over a period of time, diagonally I start moving. I was in A1, then I go to A3, then I go to A5, like that I go. I am not trying to teach you mathematics. I am trying to give you a simple principle that flow means you are challenged, but you like the field in which you are, then you pick up your skill, adjust your skill level, capacity, improve your capacity, and then you continue to go in the direction of your dreams. You may come across a lot of difficulties, but you have to accept all those difficulties as natural and then equip yourself. Sometime back I talked about skill set. It is not anymore that I will be having only one skill set, or I will be having only one skill. Like I will be a production manager, I can be a personal manager, I can be a materials manager. Today we are living in the world of multi-skill. I'm going to talk to you the relevance of more number of skills in my episodes to follow. I once again promise I will try to make a difference in your life. See you in my next episode.